why most people hate their jobs and how to fix it. Do your Sunday evenings feel different with that subtle dread creeping in at around 7 pm, thinking about tomorrow morning's meetings? Believe it or not, 80% of professionals are unhappy at work and most of them don't even realize it. We've all been told the same story. Get into a good college, land a job at a prestigious company, and you'll be set. Maybe that worked for a while, but something changed along the way. You might have found yourself zoning out during meetings or scrolling on LinkedIn a bit too often. Or perhaps things are good on paper with a good salary, decent team, respectable company, but something still feels off. I've spoken to professionals from companies like TCS, Infosys, and startups in Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore, and have noticed something really fascinating. The signs of job dissatisfaction are very different from what most people think. It's not about having a bad boss or low salary. Those are just symptoms of something much deeper. When your friend talks about their exciting new project, do you feel a pinch of envy? Or do you catch yourself saying, at least it's a stable job, a bit too often? These emotions are not random. They're trying to tell you something important about your career. But here's the good news. Understanding why you're unhappy is the first step towards fixing it. And today, I'm going to share something with you that might completely change how you think about job satisfaction. It's not about finding the perfect job. It's about understanding a framework that puts you back in control. In the next few minutes, you learn exactly why most people end up hating their jobs. And more importantly, the exact steps you need to either fix your current role or strategically move to something better. This isn't about quitting tomorrow. It's about building a career that actually feels right. The real reason we hate our jobs. Let's talk about why most advice about job satisfaction does not work. Everyone says follow your passion or find a better company. But I've seen people move from companies like TCS to Google and still feel the same way after 6 months. I've also seen people take 50% salary hikes and still dread their Monday mornings. Why is that so? Because they're fixing the symptoms and not the cause of the problem. Through all my conversations with professionals across India, I've identified 3 root causes of job dissatisfaction, and this might redirect the way you think about your career. The first root cause is called the impact gap. This isn't about making a difference. It's about finding a connection between your day-to-day activities and something meaningful. Let me give you an example. I was speaking with a developer from a major IT company, and while on paper he was working on cutting-edge technology, his day-to-day activities was just closing tickets without understanding how his code was helping users. This disconnect is the impact gap. The second root cause is growth plateau. And this isn't about designations or promotions. It's about mastery. That feeling that you're getting better at something that really matters. Think of the last time you felt really good at work. I'm sure it wasn't when you got a certificate or when you got a title change, but it was when you solved a problem that once seemed impossible. When we stop having such moments, that's exactly when we start feeling stuck. The third and deepest root cause is values misalignment. This is a tricky one because it often disguises itself as other problems. That manager you can't stand? Look closer. It's not their personality that bothers you. It's their approach to work that is in direct conflict with what you think is right. I was speaking to a product manager once who thought she hated her job, but when we dug deeper, we realized that she was working in a company that valued quick launches over user experience, which was in direct conflict with her core values. Here's why understanding the root causes is so important. Most people try to fix their job dissatisfaction by changing external factors. New role, new boss, new company. But look at the data. 65% of professionals who switch jobs feel exactly the same way within a year. And that's because they've carried those root causes with them. Before we talk about solutions, let me share something counterintuitive. Job satisfaction is not one thing, it's a system. And just like any other system, if you understand how it works, you can optimize it. This is the fulfillment framework, and it has changed how people navigate their careers. The framework has 3 levels, and here's what makes it powerful. You can make improvements at each level independently. You don't have to fix everything at once. Level 1 is daily experience. This is about how you feel by the hour. It includes your tasks, your interactions, and your environment. Most people only focus at this level, trying to fix their daily frustrations. While this level matters, it's actually the easiest to change. Level 2 is growth trajectory. This isn't about learning new skills. It's about seeing a clear path to mastery. Think of it like a video game. You find yourself most engaged when you see yourself leveling up, with each challenge being slightly harder than the last. The same applies to your career. Level 3 is purpose alignment. This is where most career advice starts. But that's actually backwards. Because here's the truth. You don't find your purpose. You build it. It's not about having some grand mission from day one. It's about gradually aligning your work with what really matters to you. Let me show you how this framework works in real life. A business analyst working in a major consulting company with a good salary is completely dissatisfied. Using this framework, we realize something interesting. At level 1, her daily experience was good. At level 2, her growth trajectory had stalled. And at level 3, her purpose alignment was completely off. Most people would tell her to quit her job and find her passion. Instead, she strategically made changes at each level. The result? Within 6 months, she had transformed her role without changing companies. The power of this framework is that it gives options. Sometimes you need to change jobs, but most often, you can dramatically improve satisfaction by making changes at just 1 or 2 levels. In the next sections, we'll look at exactly how to make these changes, starting with what you can change in your current role. Because remember, the goal is not to find the perfect job. It's to build a career that gets better every day. Let's talk about what you can do in your current role to start feeling better about work. These are not quick fixes. They're strategic moves that compound over time. And the best part, they work whether you plan to stay in your job or eventually move on. First, let's talk about task crafting. This is a concept most people never think about, but it's incredibly powerful. Look at your current responsibilities and ask yourself, which 20% of your tasks do you actually enjoy? And here's the strategic part. Actively look for projects using those skills. If you enjoy mentoring people, then offer to onboard the new members in your team. One person used this exact approach at her job. She enjoyed data visualization but was stuck doing routine testing. Instead of waiting for permission, she created dashboards to track team metrics in her free time. As a result, she was officially moved to the analytics department within 6 months. Same company, completely different experience. Next, let's talk about the expertise ladder. Most people think they're stuck with their assigned responsibilities. But here's the secret. In most Indian companies, expertise creates opportunities. Pick one specific area where your team struggles and become the go-to person for it. Be it a new technology, a business process, or even a soft skill like presentation design. Here's how to do it systematically. Week 1 to 2, learn everything you can about this area. Week 3 to 4, create a small solution or improvement. Week 5 to 6, share your knowledge through a team presentation or document. And week 7 to 8, offer to help others with similar challenges. The key is to choose something that 1 actually helps your team and 2 interests you. This isn't about padding your resume. It's about creating opportunities to do more of what you enjoy. Finally, let's talk about value visibility. Many people feel unfulfilled because they're not able to see the impact of their work. The solution: create your own impact tracking systems. Every week, document one problem you solved, one person you helped, one thing you learned, and one process you improved. This is not about showing off. It's about training yourself to see value in your work. It also gives you concrete examples for when the opportunities arise. Remember, the goal of these internal changes is not to just make your current job bearable. It's to put yourself in a position of strength. Whether you decide to stay or move to another job, these improvements will make you more valuable and give you more options. The best part about these strategies is that they work even in the most restrictive environments. Because while you might not be able to change company policy or your manager's behavior, you can control how you react or approach your job. Sometimes internal changes are not enough. But here's a mistake most people make. They wait until they're completely frustrated before looking out for new opportunities. By then, they're making decisions from a place of desperation rather than strategy. Let me share a better approach. There are 5 clear signs that it's time to consider a move. Number 1, you've mastered your role and the company has no growth path for you. Number 2, your values actively conflict with company culture. Number 3, your industry is shrinking or changing in ways that don't align with your goals. Number 4, you've tried internal changes for 3 to 6 months and there has been no improvement. And number 5, you're learning more from YouTube than actually at work. If you're seeing 2 or more of these signs, it's time for you to start building your options. Notice I said building your options and not desperately applying to jobs online. First is the preview strategy. Before making any moves, try and experience your target role and industry. You want to move from testing to product management? Start doing product analysis in your current role. Interested in fintech? Start following fintech products and writing your observations. This does 2 things. It shows you that you'll actually enjoy doing the work, and it also builds credibility for when you eventually make the switch. Next, Build your expertise bridge. Let's say you're in tech support and you want to join the sales team. Don't just go out there and apply for a sales job. Become the go-to person for handling customer calls in your own team. Look for opportunities to join the sales team on their internal calls. Create documentation to help support the sales team. Build the bridge before you cross it. But what about the practical aspects about job searching while being employed? Here's your playbook. Use lunch breaks for networking calls. Work on upskilling yourself 1 hour before or after work. Keep an opportunity research document updated with target companies. Set up job alerts, but be selective of where you apply. Remember, the goal is not to jump at the first opportunity. It's about being in a position to be able to take the right next step. Here's something most people don't talk about enough. It's okay to make lateral moves or even take pay cuts if that means you're on the right path. I've seen people take a 20% pay cut and then double their salary within 18 months, all because they're in the right environment. The Monday morning action plan. Here are a few steps you can start taking from tomorrow to initiate changing your relationship with work. First thing when you get to work is open a new document and create your value journal. This isn't another to-do list. Instead, every week, document one way your work has helped someone, even if it's something small, one process or task you want to understand better, and one thing that you have learned. This takes 5 minutes, but it completely changes how you see your day. Instead of looking at what's wrong, you are training yourself to spot opportunities. Next, look at your calendar for the week. Identify one task or meeting that you usually dread and ask yourself, how can I make this more interesting? Maybe you can challenge yourself to ask better questions in that boring status update, or you practice explaining technical concepts more clearly in that client call. Then, it's the expert hour. Block 30 minutes before lunch and 30 minutes after work to build expertise on something specific that 1 helps your team and 2 interests you. Maybe it's a new tool, it could be studying more about your industry, or it could be a specific skill. By Friday, you should have a clear record of your contributions, a better understanding of what engages you, and the beginning of a new area of expertise. But here's the most important part. Notice your energy levels throughout the week. Which tasks actually energize you? Which tasks drain you? This information is gold because it tells you exactly what kind of work you should be moving towards. Keep this up for just 2 weeks and you'll start seeing opportunities you never noticed before. Your colleagues will start treating you differently, and most importantly, you'll start feeling more in control of your career. Look, I get it. When you're feeling stuck or unfulfilled at work, it's easy to think that you're the problem. But after today, you know that's not true. Job satisfaction is not something that you find. It's something that you build, one strategic step at a time. Whether you choose to transform your current role or plan a smart transition to another company, remember one thing: you have more control than you think. Every single person I mentioned today started out exactly where you are right now, feeling stuck but ready to take the first step. The only question is, which step will you take first? Will you create your value journal, block out your expert hour, or will you start mapping out your expertise bridge? Drop a comment below with one strategy you are going to try this week. I would love to know what resonated with you the most. And if you have any specific challenges, share that too. You might see it in my next video. Hit subscribe if you want more practical career strategies like this. Together, we're not just fixing jobs, we're building careers that we actually love. See you in the next one.